Sure. My dog's name is Truman, and he's a Labradoodle, about a year and a half old at this point. So I got him in March of last year as a puppy, and it had been quite some time since I had had a dog. My previous dog lived to be 23, so it had been a while since I'd had a puppy. And as a result, I realized that I didn't really know what I was doing to try to get him just along the path of just obedience, doing simple things, and helping do walks where he wasn't just always tugging on the leash and all sorts of stuff like that. It was kind of frustrating just because, again, I didn't really know how to approach it. So for the very first time, I decided I would seek some official help. So I found Leanne and started talking to her about Truman and some of the things that, some of the difficulties I was having and some of the things that I sort of hope to accomplish. And so she suggested that we do a series of lessons, which we did, 6 I believe, if I remember correctly. But it was a real help.
I started my business because, years ago I started it because I loved dogs and our family didn't have any dogs. So being able to board dogs in my home at first was a way of being with the animals that I really loved. The training I started because I have always loved training and was learning how to train dogs, but again, we still didn't have a dog of our own, and so being able to help other people train their dogs was again another way for me to have a foot in training and be involved in training, even though I didn't have my own dog to practice with 24/7 and that kind of thing. As a trainer, I think I bring a really beneficial experience from having done so much boarding, that I can bring something to people. Is how do we manage your dog's behavior? How do we manage the things that are causing you difficulty in a way that your house isn't going to get destroyed and you're not going to get frustrated? Because that mentality is what I live in with my boarders. These boarders are here on an average of 5 nights at a time. So I don't have a lot of time to do a lot of intensive training with them. It's just how do we keep the house safe? How do we keep the dog safe until their owner comes and picks them up? So for boarding, you're going to submit a boarding request. You can do that through my website, and I will check my calendar. Generally, I really encourage you to submit a request as soon as possible because I do fill up really fast, and I prefer to only take one household at a time. So it doesn't matter if you have 1 dog, 2 dogs, 3 dogs, 4 dogs. That doesn't matter. What I care about is it your dog plus someone else's dog? That is really hard for our family to do right now. So if you submit your request early enough, then I can put you down. I can save your dates if they're available. We'll do a meet and greet where you come to the house and I get to know your dog a little bit, ask you some questions about what he likes and what he doesn't like and what his routine is normally like at home. And then you are on the schedule and you will drop off. We'll figure out what time is good for you. Drop off, your dog spends time with us, has his little mini vacation, you come back from your trip, pick him up, and that's how that works. Training, you're going to contact me with some ideas about what are you having problems with, what are you looking for in training. I'll maybe ask some preliminary questions to make sure that I'm going to be able to help you, and then we'll set up an initial consultation, and that is usually held at a Starbucks or some general easy kind of in between both of us location, and we'll spend about an hour to an hour and a half talking about that. And at that time I also send out a basic questionnaire so I can get a really good idea of what your dog's lifestyle is like right now and the different factors that can contribute to the difficulties that you're having. And so I'll use that questionnaire to kind of springboard our discussion in the initial consultation. At that point you make a decision whether you like what you're hearing, whether you don't like what you're hearing, and we'll go from there. You can either purchase sessions with me individually or you can purchase them in a group of 6. Sessions are going to be once a week at your home, or I do have some clients that do it every other week, and that works well for them. I come in for about an hour to an hour and a half. It's very owner involved. I demonstrate the exercises that are going to be beneficial for you. I watch you, have you practice them, watch and show you what's working really well and what you need to work on a little bit more. You have a week, 2 weeks in between sessions to practice that. I'm always available, email, text, phone call, for if you've got questions or if you are unsure about something, because I want you to get the most out of your time spent and the time that I spend there at your house.
Cats and dogs and rooster calls, telephones and payphone stalls.